Where's that light? Here it is. Oh, I'm not a fan of cold, Ma. You don't feel pain a lot, huh? Ma? I don't understand that. Do you feel pain? Does like your joints and stuff hurt?
Oh no.
No? But you did your suffering when you were a little girl.
Yeah.
You What's that? Had your lumps or whatever. What are you doing, Artie Pants? You're such a good boy. Luna's a good girl. Benny's a good boy. Tutuk's a good boy. Doing alright today, Ma? Yeah? It was kind of it's tried to snow today here. It stuck a little bit. It was slushy. We live in the valley. We live like right next to the stream. So, the mountains got snow. I had to drive into town this afternoon late. I went in late. It was a late trip to town. I don't hardly ever go in because, like, if you go in, especially on days that people aren't working, people like to day drink, stuff like that. It's just real dangerous, man. The world's just, I'm not even a paranoid person. It's just the world's just gotten, I don't know, every place is turned into Babylon. You know it? Like in the Bible, where they just go around carrying on, doing whatever they want. I keep seeing these people, like the way they race through the streets. You know what? It's so dangerous. They don't care. They got their girlfriends in the car. They're all sitting sideways. You know, scared to death. Or they're excited. They like it. Otherwise, I don't think they do it. See, I get situations like that. I don't like it. So I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to be in a situation like that. Like, I don't like going 100 miles an hour on the back of a motorcycle. That's not fun for me. That's not exhilarating for me. That's not a thrill for me. A thrill for me is watching somebody change their life and go from pasty gray to like a rejuvenated human being, that wants to wake up every day and do something for somebody else. That's what gives me thrills. I understand why people are the thrill seeker. I understand it. Hey man, we're all just trying to go, and I sound pretty. I realized recently I've been looking at my behavior a lot lately because we're in Scorpio season. It's all about the time of self-reflection, and Sagittarius is coming in, and so I have opportunity to balance that. Stanley, what are you doing, clown cat? I mean, I'm growing I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm still trying to grow too, and I recognize that I don't always say things with the Mom used to say when I was a little girl, don't be rude and insensitive. Huh? Used to say that to Jerry too. Don't be rude. Are you okay, Ma? Yeah, you just listening? Okay. She's kind of zoning out. She had a real good dinner. She ate the whole. I get these the fancy adult fish sticks, practically, and that's what I call them. I don't know. They're the sandwich ones, and make her fish sandwiches, and she eats the whole thing, and she's been eating really good, which is good. I mean, that's all I can ask for is for her. Stanley, that scared me. Because that sounded like a knock on the door. He's opening cupboards and stuff. He's feeling, the veil is definitely thin. Because people are, I don't know, they're being open and receptive. And they're being willing to receive and see more things. So the veil is definitely thin, huh, Ma? Mm-hmm. What do you feel? You feel a shift?
One step at a time.
One step, that's her favorite thing to say. Mom has some go to statements. But they all express the same heart space, so it just lets me know that she's in a good mood. We were watching the Golden Girls a little while ago. Sometimes it's just on days that are kind of dreary because like I gotta leave. Usually I leave the light on when I'm not doing a talk. I'll leave it on until Mom goes to bed. Which shows, are you're getting tired, huh? Yep. She was because it's daylight saving times is so stupid because people have their internal clock and it totally jacks with people's internal clock every single year. And us folks that are extra sensitive, we have a real hard time with it. So I mean, we don't have any problem with going to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's not, there's no problem with that. If you're tired, go to bed. She'll just most of the time she'll like oftentimes she'll just lay there and rest for a long time. I found some old pictures recently. I've been weird kid stuck on that movie. This is kind of a cool synchronicity. Synchronicities to me, as I understand them, there's little. As long as I keep doing the right thing, the universe gives me little freaking Easter eggs and lets me know that I'm heading in the right direction. I just have to keep living in a proper way. Like, don't be a dick, pretty much. And so, like, pretty much every morning when we get up and around, I put on, that's the last few days, that's what our go-to is when I'm, like, getting Mom's breakfast and taking dogs out and just beginning our day, we start our day out with watching the Quiz Lady. And I'm not really a fan of Will Ferrell myself. I do like some movies that he's in, and that's one of them. I don't. I have seen Grey's Anatomy and other movies. I remember Sandra Oh from Under a Tuscan Sun too. Um, but there's parts in that movie that just I freaking blah ha 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 ah ah ha. I freaking laugh like a freaking it's so funny. Uh some parts and still and when I stop laughing then I'll probably watch something else. But right now it's our go-to and Mom don't know. I mean it's like every time she sees it it's like her seeing it for the first time. Um Excuse me. But it's a pretty funny show. And there's a pretty big synchronicity in it. Is when they were watching, or when the first episode that she watched with him in it when she was an 8-year-old little girl, the bow tie he's wearing, it's the same. The first bow tie, and then like when she met him, she saw it. It's the same pattern, different colors, but it's the same pattern. I found it today. Is the bow tie, my first bow tie that I got ever. And I got this thing back in like the 90s. But I wasn't real excited. Hi, Auntie Jeannie. Excited. Because I always felt like these bow ties are inauthentic. So I didn't ever really get excited about wearing it. Good boy, Tuck. Go lay down. Go ahead. Get your girl. So what I did. Good boy, Tuck. Is when I lived in Omaha. Uh-oh. Wait, I should probably look at that. Hold on. Oh, okay. No worries. So I didn't want to wear bow ties like that. So when I lived in Omaha, I just learned how to tie bow ties, and I don't know, I got like 28 of them. I always felt like they were inauthentic. But this is but that one bow tie is my first one, and I was just like, oh my god. How's that for a synchronicity to let me know that life is on track? Because the character in that movie and we got the same first bow tie. I thought that was kind of neat. And so I found all these old pictures. It has the date on it. It's April 27th, 2001. So 22 years ago. That's me in tech school in Wichita Falls. My standards and ethics and level and integrity are too high for any military branch. Yep. Once I discovered what it really was, I had no intention of. I had. There's not any point in it that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just re-enlist. I can do this for 12. I didn't have it in me to just frickin' play a game like that. And to see, because we grew up poor. And so to see where all the money that we didn't get, we lived on $55 a month, me, mom, and my brother Jerry, $55 a month in food stamps. See, mom couldn't go to work like regular people. I mean, she had the brains, and plus I was a handful too, huh, Mom? I was a pretty wild child. Is that what they called me? I wasn't like malicious. Like I didn't do things to break. I never had that kind of curiosity. I mean, I don't understand that heart space that people like to break things. You know it? They like to cause harm, destruction. It's a heart space I don't relate to. And I call today's talk Greasy Hands All Over This Land because that is like, as I see it, that is the epitome of the downfall of what is crumbling and how society is dissolving because people's characters are dissolving. Because it's turned into such a freaking weird, this hand greases this hand, and I've seen it for a long time. I lived in Omaha. Now Omaha's a big enough city that, and I was in IT, and I worked at West Corporation. They had campuses all over Omaha. They did phone lines. So when we had to move computers and lines and groups and things like that, we're moving it in like freaking, like it was such horse shit. The way that these big companies like got out and just, did what they wanted, like if we're moving like 137 people. Now that means their computers, their monitors, their phones. We didn't move any of their personal shit, but everything IT related, we're dragging through the snow from freaking one building to another, upstairs, just like dropping freaking, just sliding in the eye. Like, nobody making $13 an hour to do this, right? I mean, I can recognize the bro club in every situation. I'm not a fan of clubs. I'm not a fan of freaking groups, organizations. I'm not a fan of like colleges. I worked at a university. Like, you know why? Because people will hire the society's dissolving because of nepotism. Because people hire their bro, their buddy, their pal. Not because they're qualified for the job. So we have a lot of people all over this land that are in positions that are very unqualified to do what they're doing. And these positions need to be filled by qualified people. So, How does that ideology have to, how does civilization, and I can't get away from it. I mean, I was listening to, God bless him, I was listening to Robert dipping in here and there on his talk, and I'm like, dude, I, he would never, we're at the opposite, so far at the opposite end of the spectrum. And his son is in a fraternity. And next year he's going to be a president. And I'm like, dude, it's all, I'm like, that, all that shit is so, that is the stuff. Like, I haven't gotten good positions, good jobs, which I'm very qualified for because somebody hired somebody they know instead. I mean, I have degrees, I have freaking awards, I have all this experience. It doesn't matter. It's who you know. This planet is dissolving based on shit because of who people know. And see, that's the thing, is I don't trip about finding. It was cool. Today was kind of a cool day. It was kind of unsuspected because it started to snow, so the weather was crappy. I wasn't planning on going anywhere, and then I went to go make cookies. And I freaking forgot the flour. So I didn't have enough flour. So it was like 3 o'clock. I said, Mom, I'm just going to jump in the blue van and dip into town quick. And get some flour and stuff. And so I head into town and I pull up. And it was nice to see people being neighborly. And older couple had... Their car, the battery was dead. Winter's a killer on batteries, man. It's a killer. And somebody was helping them jumpstart, and that got me to thinking. Now I got to get a winter kit together of like emergency supplies and a crate. I need a crate to put it all in, or something to put it all in, so that way I have it all. But I got to get 2 of each. Because I'm gonna have, I don't want to carry it back and forth between the 2 cars, so I have jumper cables for the Suburban, not the minivan, and stuff like that. You know, blankets, first aid kits, flares, stuff like that. Just stuff, because you gotta, it gets crazy out there. And the road is pretty slick today, too, coming up the hill out of the valley, out of the canyon. So saw some people. It was, I like what it's when the cashiers are fun, and I got to see a group of people and faces of people that I don't ordinarily see, because I don't ordinarily go in at that time at all. And so that was kind of pleasant. And then there's a couple people I was trying to see, but there was something going on, so I didn't want to interrupt. Then went on my way and stopped off at the laundromat to see Michelle. She's my birthday twin. I met her recently because I'll see her again tomorrow. I brought her a couple cookies. She really likes them. She said, and I like reports when people tell me that when they go, they're heavy smokers. They smoke a lot of flour, and they don't go to the flour because they just eat one of my cookies, and then they're just like, I don't even need this. You know what? That is like, okay, that mission accomplished. Because there's a lot of people in pain, man. There's so many people hurting right now. I wasn't going to do this talk because I was like, I don't have anything to say today. And I was like, well, if I'm feeling squirrely, maybe there's other people that are feeling squirrely too. So I don't always do this. These talks aren't always just about me. Sometimes, because there's days that I scroll through and I'm just looking for things to listen to on YouTube, that I can listen to so I don't have to think about me. I'm just looking for pleasant distractions. So I offer that. I hope to offer that to others too. You know, and so neat things are happening in the community. I had the opportunity yesterday. I went to a little restaurant called the Godega, and it just brand new opened. I don't even think they have a Facebook page. Anyway, and I got mom some avocado toast. I don't know why people don't like it. I just think it's freaking great. You know, it's a great. And they have their little, I think they put olives on it. I think it might do it different and ask to not do those because mom doesn't really like the tart, but it's still good though. Uh, and then they do the ramen with brisket on top. Holy freaking hell. That was so good. I came home because she's like, I took it to go, so she's put the brisket separate in a little to go container. So when I got home, I just dumped out the ramen and then dumped out the brisket on top. It was so freaking good. Oh my lawn. I'm gonna do a write-up for it, a review for it. I just haven't taken the time to do it yet. And oh wow, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. You go girl, huh, Luna? You're pretty smart and funny too. So that was pretty cool. I'm gonna see if these local places that I like going to, if we could set something up for like a code, like let them have like if people see my videos and go in to these establishments and they say like not tell them not not so large Marge hit me, I'm here for whatever, and that maybe that you'll get either an extra maybe a free drink or cup of coffee on me or something like that, a discount, whatever, just to expand the network a little bit better. Of course, there's going to be places in town that I will just never mention because I don't want people to go there. And I don't necessarily have to talk about who they are all the time either. Sometimes, man, people just don't really know what customer service is. Or maybe it's just I really do know what it is and what links, like what people can go to that. I don't think that's ever blinked before. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, I've done a lot of videos since I've got that, and I don't remember it in any of the videos it ever blinking ever. That's pretty cool. We everything's woo woo, huh, Artie Pants? I don't necessarily appreciate it right now. I don't want it to blink. Okay, we're gonna turn it off. That's interesting. See, right before I did this talk, now this is blinking. Right before I did this talk, interesting. I wonder if there's a I wonder if it's like Morse code or something like that. No, it's not. It's not. The remote for that's around here someplace. I gotta put these in the car too so I can give them out. I'm seeing people everywhere. That sucked is because I could have given away my last set of gloves and stuff like that, hat, because this young girl I saw at the market really could have freaking used them. God, it sucks. People that sick. If more people will have been would like have like really suffered and been really freaking cold in life, like you'd have more people that are helping people not be cold. It just really sucks to be cold and to wet and damp and stuff like that. And then today I got a affirmation on my vision on what I want to do here in Taos and have a travel center of sorts. Is There's these people that came into the laundromat and they dropped off. I noticed this because first of all, the guy parked like a d-bag. Like he wasn't a courteous parker. He was in a big dumb red truck, and it was extra dumb because I don't know. I didn't even look at the make and the model. I started laughing so hard because it has I hate gadgets and switches and stuff like that because these are like $90,000 trucks, and it's like people play too much is one of my things that bugs me. Like they need to help more. Like if you bought less of a truck and didn't have that stupid freaking uh feature that when you turned off the ignition, the runner lifted out from under the truck. I mean, it's just like all like I see like Jeeps and these Broncos and all these new Rams and all of this new stuff, and I just have to allow and let it go and just recognize that this is we live in a very ego-eccentric centered society, and I don't really I drive the Suburban for because it's practical, and the van because it's practical. That's why I drive those. Not because they're fast, because they're going to get me from point A to point B safely. And for people to just have so much more than that is so bizarre to me. I'm like, man, they really feel empty inside. They really do. It's a congruence. It's an equal energy. It's like the more people have outward stuff, the more they're trying to freaking compensate for how they're lacking in some place in their being. It's like Psych 101. It's an easy no-brainer. Hardy pants. So things are changing, man. The earth is changing. Freaking Iceland. It's not the same place. I mean, the timelines are lining up. It's happening so fast. You know, more and more people are having like similar experience, like the level of experience that people are having in just everyday life situation is just so vast. Anyway, this guy comes in. He parked. They were in the laundromat when I stopped in, and they had like all these bags of travel bags and stuff, like 5 bags. It was he and his woman carried all these bags of laundry and to drop off to pay to have somebody else do their laundry. Maybe I should do that, huh, Ma? No, I don't need. I can do my own laundry. If I'm ever so important I can't do my own laundry, I'm gonna need to not be doing so much stuff out there. Anyway, I hate folding laundry though. It stays piled up and stuff. Stays in the dryer a long time. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't mean I won't iron though. I'm good with just freaking turning on the dryer and letting the wrinkles come out that way. I'm all right with it. Uh. So they were dropping off their laundry, and I followed them, and they ended up. I turned off, and I live like 7, 8 miles north of the laundromat. And so they kept going, and I noticed when he pulled out, because I pulled out, he was like 2 cars in front of me, and then the last little stretch, I was right behind him, and they had a big old. They're travelers. Clearly, I mean, they're obviously travelers. I didn't see the license plate. I don't know where they're from. They did have a big old freaking industrial size freaking hitch on the back of their truck. And so what I deduced was, since they went off north farther, is that there's a travel there's a trailer park next to Fred's or Frank's or whatever it is, Frank's Eats. There's a restaurant up there. They have a bunch of veterans on the wall. I don't know if they have a lot of women veterans on the wall. Interesting. I'll have to look next time I go up there. They have a not like fancy pastries and stuff like that. Anyway, right next to there, and I was like, man, that's a long way to go to have to So it seems like there is more and more of a need for my travel center, for my place where people can come and freaking, well, only my place will have laundry facilities on site. And, I will actually, if people don't want to do it, it would be another opportunity for me to recognize my friends at the Pinch Penny laundromat. And I actually, I wrote her, when I first went here, when I first moved here and I first went there, it was during all the freaking mass crap. I did not have a pleasant experience. And I wrote a bad review, because that's what I do, is I get mad and I'll just be like, I'll put my feelings out here. And so I do. They're good people, the people that work there. And we have a pretty good rapport, so I'm going to go ahead and freaking see if I can't delete that review and replace it with a better review. So, anyway, you gotta support local, man. Except for, like, I was talking, there's a thread on this group that I'm a part of. It's called, Taos County Restaurant Reviews at Your Own Risk. And so, and people are very honest, and I'm very honest. I just did one. Oh, somebody else went to the Bodega yesterday too. This Taos Lizzie person, and I think I was there at the same time with them. As a matter of fact, because they got the brisket, burret, grilled cheese, and they added dill pickle, and they said it was so good. I said I was there yesterday too. And the freaking, yeah. But the other day I did do a write up with the spicy Diablo at the Golden Pinion. I like to go when it's not busy. And then somebody said where, and I wrote the last thing I wrote was the Golden Pinion. I said where. And the people were really nice too. It was just a turkey sandwich with the nice sauce on it and some chili. It's pretty good. So, I like to go to the places that, like, aren't gonna freaking, like, in Taos, to pay $32 for a plate of food is, like, shitty. Like, that is for a demographic. You are serving people that don't even live here. Like, and then the people that live here gotta pay those prices, and a lot of people would like to go out to a nice meal, and they can't afford that. They straight up can't, man. Like a lot of people that live on the freaking Pueblo and shit like that, they can't. So it's all right though, cause I'm gonna bring my little grill, and I'm gonna bring the good food to people that just don't get to experience it. Because not everybody is like, gets to have the same experience on planet Earth that a lot of people are having. And I want to help broaden the spectrum a little bit. Yeah. Is that the heater on? It hasn't kicked on all day. We managed to keep it off. That's pretty cool because it was cold, huh, Ma? You warm enough, Ma? You're just resting? She always, my voice puts her out, it puts her to sleep. She just always, so I'm going to go put her later, let her lay down. So I'm going to get going. But, yeah, the greasy hands. And people that are, obviously a part of the system and that benefit from the system. See, he talks about the Zion, he talks about the Zion, that club, and it's like, yeah, you got the Zionist club, you got the Jesuit club, you got the fraternities, all the sororities, you got, not to mention all the organizations, all the corporations, the military, that's its own club. It's just all, and it's and how much of all these clubs exists to help the freaking people that are the bottom of society? Not many, not a lot. They'd rather kill than create, and that's where I see, and with where I don't want to work with people is when people want to cause destruction or just create a bunch of money where they can buy a bunch of stupid stuff and buy dumb expensive cars and go here and go there. And no, people play too much. Time to get to work. Yep. There's a lot of people that are up for it though. I'm just here to help teach, get people to the next stage. Because I will never, I don't want to be, they were doing these protest yesterday at the corner by the farmers market, and what were they protest? I think it's the Gaza Strip stuff going on, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't remember when like Maui was burning up, Katrina was happening, Sandy was happening. Northern California is burned down several times over. I don't remember Israel, Palestine. I don't remember any of these countries in any of the other parts of the world, having fundraisers where it impacted the communities that needed it here. So, based on that logic, God be with them, Good orderly direction isn't about killing people, so I think they just should stop doing that. Anyway, so I was driving by after going to the drive-thru at the bank, and this woman had a sign, and I said, "What's your sign say?" She holds it up, and something about something. And I was like, "Well, there's a whole bunch of homeless people right up the road from here. They don't got no place to live and it's getting cold." and then she went on about how we got complacent. And I said, "Fuck that. I didn't get complacent. Don't put me in your we. Do not put me in your we. I have almost 3,000 videos talking about how it's all bullshit. How you just shouldn't kill people. And think of all the money that saves. Like, there shouldn't be atomic weapons. There shouldn't be Boeing and Raytheon. But people gotta get so rich and have, live all these lavish, freaking stupid lifestyles, a existence of freaking gluttony. Just because at the inside they got holes and they know what they're doing is freaking wrong. That's what I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope